Hello everybody, it's Imani. If you guys haven't seen my last video, then you don't know, but I had a little baby boy December 19th, 2014, and he is perfect. He is about to be 5 weeks old already on Friday, which is crazy. Time is moving way too fast. If you haven't seen my video, then you also don't know that I would like to do like a little mommy talk series. Just to kind of talk about different topics that, you know, pregnant women, mothers, all of us, we go through, to kind of just get a dialogue started about certain things. So like I'll do like a different topic every week. I think I'll post them on Wednesdays, and you know, you guys could share videos of yourself kind of talking about it, or leave comments, message me, and I would just love to have these conversations with different women about all these different things. I'm always looking to have these conversations with the mothers that I know, but you know, we're all just so busy, so at least this way we can kind of have this conversation on our own time. So hopefully you guys like this idea that I have, and you guys are willing to share certain things with me or with others if you choose to leave comments below or share your videos. But if you do want to have a conversation and don't want to share that stuff out, you know, in the open, definitely just message me. So the first episode of my series is going to be labor, delivery, and recovery. And this labor and delivery story is kind of scary. Well, not really scary, but definitely not one that I've seen on YouTube before, where it was just like so much going on. You know, everybody has their own story, so that's it. A piece of advice for anybody that's pregnant, about to go into labor: definitely make a birth plan, but know that your birth plan can and most likely will change, because you know, you have to do what's right for you, what's right for the baby, and just know that things can change in an instant. If I had known that, I don't think my labor and delivery would have been nearly as bad. But anyway, so here goes. My notes are on my computer down here, so that's why I keep looking as usual. So anyway, on December 18th, I was 38 weeks. I was like 38 weeks, 2 days or something like that. And I had my doctor's appointment. And I go into my doctor's appointment. I go to the nurse's office and they take my blood pressure. My whole pregnancy I had pretty high blood pressure, borderline high blood pressure. But it was never anything where the doctor felt the need to kind of keep going in. She just kept monitoring it. That day I go in and my blood pressure, mind you, a normal blood pressure reading should say like 120/80, you know, plus or minus a few. My blood pressure was 157/102, I believe. So my doctor comes in, beyond ridiculous by the way. My doctor comes in and immediately she's like, "You're going to labor and delivery." So they wheel me over. I don't even get a chance to come home. My house is literally right around the corner from the hospital. I don't even get a chance to go home to get my stuff. They wheel me right over to labor and delivery. This is at about 11 o'clock in the morning. And they leave me there and they monitor me at labor and delivery to see if they're going to admit me. My mom comes, she brings my stuff, and they let me know, like, yep, you're going to get admitted. So they take me into one of the labor and delivery rooms and they put me on magnesium sulfate, which is medicine to for your blood pressure to lower it. So they put me on that, they put me on an IV, and then they start me on some like pill that's supposed to jumpstart labor. They have all that already, and they also have me monitored. My blood pressure and his heart rate has to continuously be monitored, so I can't get up and walk around. That's already something that, you know, is off my birth plan already, because I wanted to walk around during labor. Also, I'm already on medicine, which I didn't want. I wanted a natural delivery, but what are you gonna do? So the next morning, I go to sleep. My contractions aren't that bad, but the next morning they start me on Pitocin at about I want to say 8:30 in the morning. They start me on Pitocin, and that really jump starts everything. And my contractions are through the, oh my gosh, they're so bad. But I'm dealing with it. I'm finding different ways to deal with it, because I say, you know what, I'm already on medication. I just want, you know, as natural as a birth as I can get. The issue was, every time I had a contraction, my blood pressure went up. And according to the millions of doctors that like rush into my room, they say that, you know, that could be really harmful for the baby. So I'm upset, but I'm like, okay, fine. I get an epidural. I get the spinal tap. Let me tell you guys that I think they let a student do the epidural. He keeps making noise like he wants to get up, but he's just like grunting over there. Anyway, I think they let a student do my epidural. Because it sounded like one of them was like talking her through my epidural. I can laugh about it now, but I wanted to punch somebody in the face before. Anyway, it's like they're talking her through how to do the epidural. So she finishes, and only one side, my left side, was numb. My right side, I still felt every contraction. So it's like split in half. Think about it, if you feel the contraction like this is how I feel the contraction, just on one side. So I still feel all the pain just on one side. So I break down and I'm like, this is not right. You know, y'all made me get the freaking epidural. I didn't say freaking, by the way. Y'all made me get the freaking epidural and y'all didn't even do it right. You know, I'm just going off. I'm crying. So they end up having to take out the epidural and redo it. I make sure that it's a different person doing my epidural. And it is like, you know, one of the head anesthesias, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, he does it right, and you know, finally everything is good. So I don't feel anything. I'm able to get like a little nap in a couple hours. So this is all like in mid-afternoon, evening. I go to sleep. I wake up at about, I want to say 8:30. And when I wake up, I feel everything. Like, epidural completely wore off. That's why I woke up. And what I feel is a need to push. Like, I have to push. So the nurse comes in and I'm telling her I really, really have to push. And she first of all, she was like a waste of space. She was getting on my nerves. She doesn't call the doctor. She acts like she calls the doctor, but she doesn't. She just leaves. I'm like, seriously? Like, I need somebody to check me. So a new nurse comes in 10 minutes later, who I loved, who everybody loved, my whole family loved her. She comes in, she checks me, and I'm about 8 or 9 centimeters. So she has the doctor come in, and the doctor breaks my water, and immediately I feel like his head's like right there as soon as she breaks the water. So I heard either the doctor or the nurse say that I could push. That's all I hear for the rest of the time. I don't hear them say stop pushing, nothing like that. I start pushing my life away. Another piece of advice, listen to your doctors. I'm going to explain why. So make sure you're listening if they say push or not push. Anyway, so I'm pushing my life away because I know that the minute I stop pushing, I will not be able to push again. And this kid was just going to be inside me forever. So I'm pushing. I had maybe like one more push and this kid literally flies out of me. His father jokes that he did like a backflip out of me, and the doctor literally had to catch him. That's what he said. I didn't see it, but he said the doctor literally like had to catch him because like that's just how fast he just flew out of me. So it was great, you know. I was so proud of myself. I was so happy to see him finally, because I just had so much going on through my pregnancy, which I'll explain in another Mommy Talk video. But it was just a lot. So I was just so happy to see him. His father was so happy. They take him away, you know, to get him checked up. And I find out that I have a 3rd-degree tear, which is why I say if your doctor says stop pushing, stop pushing. Because I have a 3rd-degree tear. If you don't know what a 3rd-degree tear is, I tore from the top to the bottom. Not only that, but I also tear muscle. So they are stitching me up for what is like 20 minutes. So they're holding off, you know, my little guy, because, you know, so we could do the skin-to-skin contact until all the stitching is done. Mind you, they don't stitch me up with any type of anesthesia. so I'm screaming on the table every time I feel the needle go in. So it was bad. My tearing was awful. I never thought I would tear, nonetheless have a 3rd-degree tear. So like, that's why I say please make a birth plan, but please just think of all the alternative, you know, situations. Like it was just crazy. I honestly would have preferred a episiotomy if it meant that I didn't tear as bad as I did. So that's my labor and delivery. A little scary, but you know, if I could do it, if I could get through it, anybody could get through it, because my pain tolerance is like, on to my recovery. So I actually just had my postpartum appointment today, and everything is looking great. Everything is looking healed up. You know, of course they say don't start, you know, with any sexual contact yet, which I don't plan on, but you know, everything looks good. But for 2 weeks, maybe 2.5 weeks, I was in extreme pain, extreme, because of the tear, because of the stitches, mind you. And I'm also scared to use the bathroom in any type of way because I'm scared I'm gonna pop my stitches. I'm scared to move any type of way because I'm scared I'm gonna pop my stitches. So it was just extremely painful for me. I literally can't do anything except tend to him. His bassinet is right by my bed, as you can see, and it was still hard to get up in the middle of the night just to sit up and get him. That's how much pain I was in. They did prescribe me Percocet and ibuprofen, but it was still a lot. So my advice again is to just stock up on things for your recovery. Stock up on, you know, ice packs, pads. If you have a tear or an episiotomy, stock up on like witch hazel peroxide. Definitely make sure you do a whole bunch of warm baths. Get yourself some unscented soap to clean yourself very well with. You know, I was very unprepared for my recovery, so I ended up having to get people to get those things for me or take a walk. You know, a quick 5-minute walk would take me 25 minutes because I was just walking so slow. It was just so painful. Everybody thought I had a C-section the way I was walking, but it's like, no, I'm just in so much pain. I also bled. You're gonna bleed for quite a while, but I bled very heavy and very bright red for a long time, which is abnormal. So I ended up having to go back to the hospital, to the ER. But I did find out everything was fine. I just had excess blood, and they had to give me medication to kind of clear it out. But because all this is happening, I'm like super depressed. Not like baby blues or postpartum depression or anything like that, but I'm just really depressed because I'm like, I can't enjoy this, you know, for the first few weeks of my child because I'm in so much pain, and you know, I'm bleeding all the time, and it's just not, you know, it's just not something that you would think about, you know, while you're pregnant. Especially because I had such an easy pregnancy. I never thought anything like this could happen. But you know, one thing I also can say is this too shall pass. You know, right now I'm feeling great. Well, not great. I still have a lot of pressure down there. I'm still very sore, but what can I say? I pushed a freaking human being out of me, so I'm gonna be sore for a while. But you know, it's gonna pass, and I don't think I would go through that pain if God didn't want me to go through that pain to show me just how strong I am, you know. And so I would just recommend, make sure you prepare very well for your recovery, because you never know how it's gonna go. I would recommend, if you have any questions about anything that has to do with your labor, delivery, recovery, definitely call your doctor right away, because the last thing you want, because I wasn't even gonna go to the ER, but the last thing you want is for it to be an infection, and then, you know, it's 10 times worse. You know, you have to take care of yourself in order to take care of your baby. So that's one thing that I'm learning now. I have to take care of myself in all types of ways in order for my baby to be happy. So I think that's all that I have for my labor, delivery, and recovery. If you have any questions for me, please leave it in a comment below. Please also share any stories that you may have had, if anything similar happened to you, because I swear I never saw anything like this when I was looking at YouTube videos. But if anything similar has happened to you and how you took care of it, you know, any of my 3rd degree tear girls out here. We can start our own little gang, our little third degree. You gotta laugh about it or you're gonna cry. Anyway, just let me know, and I will see you guys for my next video and my next mommy talk episode. Alright, I'll see you guys. Bye.